What's going on, guys? Today we're looking at the things poor people do that keeps them poor that the rich don't do. If you like videos about business, success, and psychology, subscribe to the channel because we got a lot of good stuff coming. And at the end of this video, you'll find out the world record that billionaire Richard Branson broke in 1987. One of the main things that separate the poor from the rich is the difference between consuming and creating. Think about this. The average person who isn't rich spend their time working to pay for things that others create. Poor people work so they can get a hold of those new Jordans or that new 4K TV, upgrade cars, or go on a vacation. They dedicate very little to no time creating what others will consume. The rich, on the other hand, they spend the majority of their time creating things that others will consume. Think about it. Television actors spend most of their time creating TV shows or movies that others will watch. Internet personalities create the content that their audience will consume. Entrepreneurs create products and services or solutions for others. The poor have a consumer mentality while the rich have a creator mentality. The good thing about this is that most people can be creators. So question, what can you create right now that others can consume? Another big thing that poor people do that the rich don't is that the poor spend too much of their time doing activities that don't bring any value, like browsing on Facebook or watching television. See, while most people spend their time watching TV, the rich aim to be in TV. While most spend time consuming content, the rich spend time creating it. Think about it. While catching up with the latest celebrity gossip or internet drama might be entertaining, it brings no value or benefit to you, only to the media. Of course, not all media is bad. There's some that is meant to educate you or save your time. Now, a lot of people use TV shows, a YouTuber, or a series of content to unwind, relax, and disconnect with the world, which is fine, but spending lots of time consuming the content is a great indicator that they might have something going on in their life that they don't like, so they use media as an escape of that reality. The issue is that this takes away time for a person to grow and develop themselves or fix the problem they might be having. The rich and successful, on the other hand, they work on their growth, their mission, their problems first. And then after, if they have any time left, they might consume some entertainment. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with consuming a little entertainment, but when it's used just for that, entertainment, not when it's used as an escape of reality. So second question, how many hours a week do you spend consuming media content compared to taking action in your life? Something that the poor do that the rich don't is that they spend a lot of time trying to save a little bit of money. Now, I don't mean that you shouldn't try to save money, but think about this. Have you ever seen someone that spends a whole day, 7 or 8 hours, to save $37 in groceries? That's the value per hour of $4.6. They could easily spend the $37 and cut the shopping time to 1 hour, then spend the other 7 hours creating something of value that can bring as much or more than what they spent. A lot of people would rather take a couple of hours mowing their own yard just to save $20 that they would pay for a local kid to do it, when they can instead use that time for higher value tasks. See, while the poor spend their time doing some tasks that do not bring much value, the rich will either pay more money to save time or delegate lower value jobs to other people to focus on higher value tasks. Like the rich say, why do the $10 an hour jobs when you can do the $1,000 an hour jobs? Notice how this point focuses on saving time, because the rich know the value of their time, and they focus on the value they're getting against their time. See, money is something that you can always get back. Time isn't, and for the rich, time is much more valuable than money. What can you do to free your time to make way for higher value, higher paying tasks? And here's a Richard Branson clue. After breaking his world record in 1987, which risked his life, he came back and broke his own record again in 1991. Can you guess what world record he broke? Write it in the comments below and see if you got it right. Have you ever met someone who tries to impress other people by trying to look rich? Something that seems to happen often is that poor people try to look richer than they actually are. If we think about it, spending time and money to give the impression that we are rich will make it harder to actually be rich, because we are spending our resources on luxuries that don't bring any value. The rich know that luxuries are just a side effect of success and not the ultimate goal. Most people who spend a big part of their hard-earned money on luxuries end up resenting those luxuries because they become a burden on their income. Instead of enjoying those luxuries, they become a burden in their life. Question number 4. Have you ever bought a luxury that later became a burden? Something that makes a huge difference between someone who is poor and someone who isn't is that the poor save money and just keep it, or don't save at all. The rich invest it. Now, I'm not saying that you should not save money. I definitely recommend you putting money away. But the real difference is that most people save money to either buy something later in the future, or they just keep it in a bank account doing nothing. Money that doesn't move doesn't have any value. Let me give you an example. If you inherit $1 million from a distant relative, you're happy, you got $1 million. But there's a catch. You have to save it all and you can never spend it. You can never use it. After hearing that, does this money have any value to you? Not really, because the money will never be used. It has absolutely no value. In terms of wealth growth, saving money with no purpose and just keeping money in the bank account doesn't bring any value. Even worse, with inflation, money that sits in a bank account will actually lose value. So what do the rich do? They put their money to work. They get their money a job. This is where making money work for you comes from. Saving money is one thing, investing it wisely is another. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to risk losing my money. And this is why I recommend the first investment that you make is yourself. Investing in yourself and education to learn how to use your money wisely is the best investment with the best ROI. I will repeat that I very much believe in saving money, and everybody should do it. So question number 5. What percentage of your income do you save every month? Something that I don't see people talk about often is the difference of how the poor and the rich use credit. The poor are afraid of credit because it can create lots of challenges if they end up in debt. The rich, on the other hand, want more credit because they use it as leverage. Let me give you an example. While the poor use credit to buy unnecessary things, sometimes without having the money to actually pay for them, the rich uses credit lines or special loans to be able to buy and leverage large assets. For example, buying a real estate property where they put $20,000 down and finance $90,000, they start leveraging a $130,000 asset when they only invested $20,000. This is where the term of using other people's money comes from. The average person generates their income through one source, usually their job, while the rich have multiple sources of income. This is a huge difference between the rich and the poor. See, most people are afraid of losing their job and their income, for a good reason. That is the only one they have. See, one of the biggest stressors on a person is not having enough money, or what would happen if they lost their source of income. But by having multiple sources of income can make it a little less stressful, because even if something goes wrong and you lose one source of income, you have other streams that will bring money to buy you some time so you can rebuild and get back to where you were, making your life much less stressful. So question number 6, what can you do to build other sources of income? Poor people aim to retire. The rich aim for financial independence, then wealth. See, most people are looking to work 40 to 45 years in a decent paying job and look forward to the sweet image of retirement, where they get to leave their job and do what they wish at the age of 65. And sadly, sometimes that doesn't happen. The rich don't focus on retirement because they aim to become financially independent. The goal is to build enough assets to pay for their lifestyle. This way, they won't have to work on a job and they get to spend their time either retired or building even more assets. For a more in-depth review of assets, check out my video about the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'll tell you the Richard Branson fact in a second, but first, let's review the ideas again. Number 1. Consuming versus creating. The poor spend their time consuming, the rich spend their time creating. Number 2, the poor spend lots of their time consuming media, sometimes as an escape of reality. Number 3, the poor spend a lot of time to save a little money. The rich focus on higher value tasks. Number 4, the poor try to look rich, lowering their chances of actually being rich. Number 5, the poor use credit to buy stuff. The rich use it to leverage larger assets. Number 6, most people have one source of income. The rich have multiple. Number 7, most aim to retire at 65. The rich aim to be financially independent as soon as possible. Alright guys, give a big thumbs up if you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more awesome videos. And the world record that billionaire Richard Branson broke in 1987 and again in 1991 was being the first and only person to cross the Atlantic in the largest hot air balloon in 1987 and the Pacific in 1991. As always guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.